What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. As always, my name is Eli. Tuesdays and Thursdays we do live Q&As. Hoping we're going to have a good one today. But before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. But let's give a couple of shout outs to those people that are here so far. J-Song, Ripper, Senpai, RD, Pokey Heat, Collectible Accounting, Amari, Bill, Pika Pika, Squid, Michael, John, and Package Total. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Let's see what we got so far for questions. Any new Pokemon Center deals coming out? Not that I'm aware of. Also, let's get my face out of the way. What the heck is going on? Why do I have such a big face that's being shown? We need to fix that ASAP. Let's get rid of my face. Boom, nice and tiny. Love to see that. And let's throw up in the background something like, I don't know, TCG player. How does that sound to you guys? What are your guys' thoughts on TCG player? Oh, never see that. Anything exciting to look at when we just take our first glance? Okay. Prices for the Charizard going down. Nice. Obsidian Flames boosters already at $100. Nice. Things are tanking. Love to see that. Yeah, it's a fun time right now. It's a fun time in the Pokemon market. It's Obsidian is not good. Obsidian is not good, to say the least. Do you think the current Scarlet and Violet sets are coming out too fast? What do you think about the potential stagnation with new sets at the moment? It's EX Era 2.0, but with more printed. Do I think they're coming out too fast? I mean, here's the deal. I don't think they're coming out necessarily too fast because Eli unaware that there was an Evolving Skies restock. Well, the question was any new Pokemon Center deals coming. He didn't say any new restocks coming. And that's completely different, Raheem, which I actually was unaware of that. But I can't necessarily say I think it's too fast right now, but that's just down to the fact of the matter that everything's happening at once. The Pokemon Company tends to do this. They tend to dump everything all at once. So if we look at what happened in 2021, right, there was not as long as this last time around, but there was a decent amount of time where we didn't get a ton of Pokemon supply. It was very much just like we get our new first wave of Battle Styles product. It sells out immediately. Then we move on to Chilling Reign, get our first wave of that, sells out immediately, and then moving on. It's like stuff like that where it just doesn't really last that long. Whereas immediately going into the end of 2021 or the holiday season, boom, they just dump us with everything. Not to mention, too, outside of just reprints and restocks, we're also talking about, too, the fact that you had a set Evolving Skies come out end of August, then early October, which is literally a month later, for celebrations, following it into another month later in November with it being Fusion Strike. So the timing of that was just really, really fast, right? It's usually like every other year they have like this rapid fire, like back to back to back sets, which is why it feels so fast because they kind of jam in a holiday set in between. And that's what we're seeing here with it going from Obsidian into 151 and then immediately into it just feels longer because there's another set in between. Let's go look at the Pokemon Center. I assume it's already sold out, but I mean we might as well just take a look and see if there is anything in terms of restocks available, since it seems to be the conversation that people are wanting to talk about for ETBs. Oh, shocker, it's sold out. Yeah, that probably lasted, 0.2 seconds if we were to guess, in terms of the overall restock for Evolving Skies product. Anytime that happens, it's just it's sold out immediately. Eli finally stocking up a collection of sealed again. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am. And I don't know why I sound so distraught when saying that. I think it's probably because I just look at my bank account and I just get sad because I'm like, man, I want money, but man, I also am happy I have as many cases of Lost Origin Silver Tempest as I do. There was also Marnie milk cartons and Cosmic 3-pack blister restocks. Really? Wow. Okay, so there was a decent amount of restocks on the Pokemon Center website. I mean, at this point, it's gone, right? Like, all of it's gone. So, bummers. But, you know, at least at the end of the day. Dude, was it always this? No, it's just kind of been sitting sideways. It's still crazy to me. Like, listen, I understand Obsidian's crappy set. Don't get me wrong. You're not gonna, have to argue with me there. I understand. Crappy set. But still, like, it blows my mind that some of these alternate arts, as cheap as they are, like, I get it. The Gita isn't, like, waifu looking. But, like, still, $8? Like, I don't know. That seems really low to me. Maybe I could be wrong. Are you spreading out investments outside of Pokemon or all chips on Pokemon? Right now, here's what I'm doing. I put a small amount of money in the stock market. I put a small amount of money in crypto. Then I take a decent amount of money and I put in Pokemon sealed product. And then if I'm being honest, I'm starting to now take whatever, if I'm being honest, I think I'm kind of at a point for myself where I'm done with picking up any more Pokemon sealed product. There's just no more volume that I'm really interested in picking up right now in terms of liquidity perspective. And I am going to instead be putting all my money in buying bulk. Specifically buying product that I can break down, such as magic, to then turn into bulk profits. Because, like, for myself at least, with having the Roka machine, I very much dumped a bunch of money as an investment for that. And with the fact that you can make a ton of money off of commander decks, it's hard for me to say, like, I shouldn't be capitalizing off of that, because a lot of these commander decks, after fees and shipping, you can walk away making anywhere between 30 to 50%. And so for myself, it's like, all right, which would I rather do, right? Would I rather get Silver Tempest boosters and Lost Origin boosters and sit on them and then hope to make a massive return, which is probably going to take at least another 6 months to a year, versus I go buy a bunch of magic product, I flip it. It obviously takes more work, but at least I can walk away with a 30 to 50% return, And ultimately, at the end of the day, right, we're buying right now in the program, which obviously if you want to take advantage of that, we got 2 spots available left. So I highly recommend you join in if you haven't. For the wholesale program, we're buying Lost Origin and Silver Tempest booster boxes for 102 apiece. So, like, that's kind of the situation we're in right now. And it's very much, all right, well, let me buy that all day because the market price is 130 for the boosters. And so you're getting in below, but if you still do the math, you say to yourself, all right, well, market's 130. Unless I'm going to sell locally for like 120, 130, you're not going to get a massive immediate return, right? Like, you're going to have to calculate in shipping and fees if you're trying to sell online. So, and even then, if I hypothetically was able to sell locally, let's say I sold locally for $10 cheaper, sweet. It just basically afforded me the cost of shipping and fees. Even then, it's like that 20% return for the volume in which I purchased. I'd much rather like just wait for the value to go up and kind of look at it on a slight trend. Which commander decks are good right now? By far it is the March of the Machine commander decks. Those are incredible right now. So this is an active site that doesn't require me to log in, but this is one of my distributors pages. You can literally go to their website right now. You don't have to have a login. They're doing a weekly special right now for March of the Machine Commander decks. So if you're in the program, you can get access to this. You're paying $119 for a display, which comes with 5 decks, right? There's this other website, which RNG Games has talked about it. Shout out to Rob many, many times, that you can use a calculator, or this calculator, I should say in particular, and it tells you the general profitability of product that you can break down for Magic. So this is a calculator for the March of the Machine product at the price point that I'm getting, right? So going back to it, it's 5 decks for $119, 5 decks, right? So doing the math, you're basically paying about $26 a deck after shipping and fees, is what I have calculated. So if we say, all right, we take all 5 of these decks, the calculated fee percentages, and the fee percentages here, I'll move my face down. It has certain fee percentages. These are based off of direct. So if you aren't in direct, the fee percentages on how much money you can make, way higher, right? But if you just go straight up and say, all right, this is what I'm buying, which is actively available right now, it's a 43% return right now, which is insane. And that's if you're going direct. Now, if you're not going direct, right, and let's say that you're someone that does just general envelope ships, which first and foremost, you know, like that's a lot doing envelope ships. And it's usually 13%, but we'll say 20% because obviously if you're selling direct, you're getting a premium. And so you're able to sell for a higher price. So we'll say 20% to offset that. But if you're not doing direct, you can still anticipate to walk away with an 85% return right now. It's going to take you way more time because you're doing envelope orders versus direct, which is why direct is worth it, even though it's cutting your profits in half. But it's insane right now. Like the amount of money you can make off of some of these Magic products, which is why I'm in both, right? I'm saying I'm going to take my money and I'm going to sit on Pokemon Steel product as long-term investment. But in the short-term, quote-unquote, flipping game, I'm just buying a bunch of Magic and breaking it open and selling it. Like, there's so much money to be made. And I understand this is like a Pokemon channel because it's Pokemon USA. But, I mean, that doesn't really change, at least for myself, the fact that I'm going to try and make as much money as I can as a business and talking to you guys about it, regardless of whether you choose to do the same as me or not. Give me one quick second, guys. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Oh my God. I had a shipment come in today and I got 0 notification of the shipment, and there's just a semi truck outside my house, and I'm like, I did not know I was going to be receiving this today. No one notified me like they're supposed to. So that's always a fun time, getting 0 notification of which product's coming. Oh, darn it. I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! Was expensive. Distro calling with a new deal. Definitely not. Pokemon Center restock is crazy right now. Well, tag team. But is it available right now, Squid? That's the real question. I think on the last live you mentioned about the possibility of offering sports cards from Distro. Was this correct? It's something that we're looking into, but it's not 100% yet. There's just so many other things that I want to prioritize before I get into sports cards. That's kind of my thing. What do you usually use to find out about PC restocks? I assume I can't tell if you're asking me that, Jason, if I'm being 100% honest. What happens on a rainy day delivery? That's a fantastic question. Thankfully, I live in Arizona. I mean, we've got monsoon season, but it's not something that usually lasts more than 5 minutes. Because out here it's dry as frick all the time. So, but yeah, literally just straight up obnoxious how they like to just drop it right when I'm not available. And I'm like, solid, guys. Thanks for letting me know you were going to deliver it to me on Tuesday. But I don't know, like I said before, Jason, if you're asking me that directly or someone else, because if I'm being completely honest, I don't really pay attention to a lot of the restocks or redrops unless it's something that is being pinged in the deals channel. And I have an opportunity to just kind of hop on and take advantage of it just based on the fact that most of the time I'm so busy. So I guess the deals channel is to answer the question how I usually do it, because people will get added there in the Discord. So that's just generally what I'm going through and doing myself. A great time to buy all the cheap alt arts and grade them. I guess I assume you're talking about the SIRs because of what I was saying. Senpai says it's still up in the links channel right now. Oh, let's take a look. I assume it's probably going to go out immediately after you posted it, but let's take a look. And then the Relentless Flames one. Relentless Flames, that one's gone. So that one's gone. Let's see if the Marnie one's gone. The Marnie one is still available. Really? Obviously, this one's also out of... No, it's out of stock. They're all out of stock, but this one is in stock. And that one was literally just posted now. Error when attempting to add product. Yeah, it's sold out. At least it's not allowing me to take advantage of it. But see, this is the thing is stuff like that where people make pins on the deals Discord announcements. It's definitely worth it. And also another thing too, for those of you guys that are new to Discord, you can literally decide which notification settings you want to remove and keep active. So if you want to mute the rest of the Discord except for general announcements and Discord links, you can always go in and manually do that. It's super simple. Anyone else waiting for the Black Friday deals to drop some serious cash? I definitely feel like there's a large amount of people that are going to be just kind of chilling out with that. Yeah, the timing of everything right now and just overall product drops have been quite interesting, with everything being sold literally all last second. Like, it's absolutely insane to me how much the Pokemon company is like, yeah, we're just going to like drop all this product like last second. Here's your ETB reprints. Here's your booster box reprints. Here's your this. Here's your that. And I'm just like, holy crap, man. I don't like, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Would it have been better if they spread it out? I don't know. You tell me, I guess. Because I just get nervous because there's only so much money people have. But maybe that's the whole idea, right? The whole idea is, yeah, well, there's only so much money people have. Therefore, we want to make sure that it's going to be something that is going to cause the prices to crash because people are going to be able to pick and choose what they like and the ones that are going to tank. But then that, you know, I don't know. I look at that and I say to myself, well, people are not doing so hot right now with Scarlet and Violet products. So do you really want to do a bunch of reprints with Scarlet and Violet? But to be fair, they're bundling it with retailers and distributors. So I guess I don't know. It's interesting. But should promote your Discord more. Great resource. Well, I always used to promote my Discord in every single video, always telling people that it's the place to be. But at the end of the day, people find my Discord in the link at this point. I don't really need to promote it. We have like over 1,500 members at this point. So it's definitely a really, really useful resource that I always recommend people joining. And plus, from an engagement perspective on my videos, a lot of people would just kind of skip that part if they were already in the Discord. So it hurt my engagement on video views. So I just kind of cut that part out. Are you worried about leaving the hobby or at least not matching the inflow of new product? Am I worried about money leaving the hobby? I'm less worried about money leaving the hobby and more worried about what's potentially going to happen in the economy over the next couple of months. That's more or less what I'm the most concerned about. I get really nervous, and I shouldn't say the next couple of months. I should honestly say the next year to year and a half. I just get really nervous because inflation still is an all-time high. The Fed is saying that their target is still 2%. We're still quite away from 2%. I mean, we're at 3.5%, 4% right now. And the problem is 90% of inflation, I think is what they said. It's 80 or 90%. I can't remember the exact number. It's caused by housing. So I just get really nervous because the housing market is a way stickier, number when it comes to tracking overall economic prosperity. And if you're saying to yourself, you start to see adjustments in housing prices going down, but the interest rates are still high. I don't know. They usually correlate the general housing market to unemployment. And that's kind of what I get the most afraid of. And at the end of the day, houses are so expensive and there are people that are going to default because they just can't afford things. But at the end of the day, right, the question ultimately is, with the way in which things have played out and naturally adjusted to the rate of inflation, is it going to be one of these things where all of a sudden prices start to gradually come down? Are they going to swiftly come down? Is that it's swiftly coming down going to affect the overall unemployment market? Because the reason why it's selling so fast is because people overpaid for homes they couldn't afford. You know what I mean? There's a lot of variables. It's not like, oh my gosh, the Fed raises by another, half a point in the next year, therefore prices crash because people are eager to sell. No, the reason why they're eager to sell has nothing to do with the rates going up, because why would they sell if they're locked in at a lower rate? The reason why they're eager to sell is because they bought into a house they couldn't afford. They need to offload it. And then buyers look at the interest rates currently and say, I can't afford that, so no one's buying. So prices tank. That's kind of it, right? And so I don't know. That's the one thing that just makes me the most nervous. If you want to be ahead in the housing market, keep an eye on California. The rest of the state seems to follow what happens historically. I just look at Gas Monthly subs. Even the Dollar Tree ain't dollar anymore. I know, but that's like general inflation though, and that's something that has been going on for the past year to year and a half. And people are naturally starting to adjust to that, which sucks. Like, it's terrible. But it's not like all of a sudden McDonald's is going to be like, you know what? Buy one, get one for $1 menu. It's coming back. Like, no, they're not going to do that. It's not like inflation's over. Like, the prices are what the prices are at this point. The only thing that really is going to adjust is certain, like, market demands, right? Like, if people stop getting gas prices go down. People stop buying houses, housing prices go down, right? As long as there is more supply and less demand, then prices are going to go down, right? Which, you know, you might say to yourself, hooray, inflation is going down because no one can afford anything, right? Because even though the supply hasn't gone up, the demand has gone down. You know what I mean? Like, it's not good. It's not good one way or another. So I know at least in Arizona here, gas has been a roller coaster. It's like we had gas like a month ago that was like $3.20, $3.30. And we're like, okay, that's pretty good. I think the cheapest I saw was $2.99 at one point. And then now it's $4.40. And then it's probably going to yo-yo back down to like $3.30, $3.50 at some point. Like, it's just up and down. The volatility of gas right now is insane, at least in Arizona. Fourth quarter will have a massive impact on what the next phase of the economy looks like. No, it's definitely what a lot of people are looking for. People keep kind of seeing what's going to happen with, I think October is the biggest thing people have said, having to do with commercial real estate and how that's going to play into things. I know. I mean, Grant, you're saying something that is literally everything. That is within every state. It's not just a NZ. Oh, interesting. I don't know why I for some reason thought that said NV, but that just goes to my dyslexia. Yeah, but that's pretty accurate for how it was at least here in the US. It was so funny. I was watching a video today. One of my like favorite YouTube comedians, they like posted a video like a couple of days ago, and they were like, you know, people keep asking me, and they're like wearing like gray hair wigs, and they're like, you know, people keep asking me, how did I do such a good job on my investment? Well, I think it's important that, you know, they always say time in the market is important, but I think really timing when you're born is also important. And that's the problem with these kids these days. They just don't know when to be born. They suck at timing things. It's like, you know, everyone always complains about how prices have gotten more expensive and no one can afford housing. Well, how do you think it feels for me to be a landlord and have to deal with whiny little kids that always complain about not having money? Like, it's the funniest thing ever. Like, it's obviously poking fun at boomers, but I thought it was funny. Current card supply with SV sets seems to outweigh the demand. I'm based in Ireland. SV sets are just sitting on shelves. Have we hit saturation? Oh, we're 1,000% hitting saturation, but it has less to do with the supply and more to do with demand, right? The general price point of Pokemon product has gone up by $10. That was a massive jump up. That wasn't a small jump up. That was a massive jump up. You're talking about what, a 12 to 13% increase, right? For most people's MSRP or wholesale. That's insane, right? That is an insane jump. So that's the first thing that you need to take into consideration, right? And then the second thing is SV has been arguably extremely lackluster. Paldea, I think, is the best by far of the three. I think the art designs for Paldea are incredible. I like the pull rates the best for Paldea, at least from my personal experience. It's got the best cards for sure. But even then, it's like, it's all just basically right around wholesale. Yeah, I kind of figured that when you said NZ, you meant New Zealand, but I just read it as NV for some reason off the bat. But as people know, I tend to try and read really quickly, and then I just absolutely read something separate that is in my brain because of how fast I'm reading things. So I'll try and slow it down and reread it again. In our line of work, we have been predicting a market correction in the first quarter. I just wonder how about that is. Just got to be born at the right time. Bunch of idiots. See, here's my problem, guys. I should have been investing in real estate 10 years ago, but my just idiot self was just too busy playing with Legos. Like, come on, dude. Actually, that's a lie. I was 14. Okay, let's think about this. When was 09? 09 and 010 would have been the best time to invest. So 13 years ago, I was 11. Oh, dude, I spent all my money on Pokemon when I was 11. Actually, I didn't really have money, so it's a joke. But I spent all this time wasted when I was 11 when I should have been investing in real estate. God, what an idiot I was. If you could afford to buy a house now, would you do it or wait it out? Well, so here's the deal, Honk. At least for myself, this is just my personal plan. I am saving up for a down payment in the next year to year and a half is my current plan. So my lease agreement with my landlord that I'm with right now, it ends October 1st because I've already extended 2024. So the overall plan is I'm about a year and a month now from the lease agreement ending. And I mean, we're good tenants, so it wouldn't surprise me if I'm like, hey man, can I stay here for like another 3 months while I look for a home? Can I stay for another 6 months? Like, just kind of let me stay where we are right now. I'd probably be cool with it. I mean, it's not a crazy ask. I don't think so. Especially because the mom of our landlord is a realtor. So I'm like, we're also going to help get our commission. So it's like, that's kind of my thing is very much just, I'm looking at it as financially speaking, if I'm being honest, I could probably afford it right now. But with the way in which the market is right now, I want to be uber conservative in this time, and I don't want to over leverage myself, especially with having a business, because if I start to say, oh yeah, I'm not going to put 20% down because I only need to put 10% down and I can afford that, or I only need to put 5% down and I can afford that, just keep playing this game, right? No, I have to have enough money to put 20% down, avoid the PMI, and then have money saved up on top of that. And if it takes me several years to get there, then so be it. But I'm not going to immediately jump in when I know right now that the market itself is just not in a good position to begin with, and say, hey, if the market just continues to go sideways, that's totally fine. I have time, right? Because I'm just building up my position, right? Now, if the market goes down while I'm building up my position, then awesome, right? I'm going to set myself up for success. I mean, Pika, you're honestly just saying I don't know if it's, I mean, listen here, right, guys? I obviously, we have a lot of individuals that live outside the U.S., so I don't know if this is just a endemic problem within the U.S., but I think what you're describing, in my mind, which is the instant gratification culture, the give me the newest thing culture, right? The I have to have the new phone, I have to have the new car, I have to do this, I have to do that, especially with social media playing a huge factor and that being so prevalent, right? Which for myself, I've never gotten that. My car that I own is a 2013 Volkswagen Jetta. It's got less than 100,000 miles on it right now. Diesel, really fuel efficient, and it's like 50 miles to the gallon. I owe $1,000 left on it, but it runs great. I love the car. That's what I need for a car. My phone that I have, an iPhone 13 Pro. Now, how did I get this iPhone 13 Pro? They were doing a trade-in special for Verizon, which is who I use. And the trade-in special was you trade in an iPhone from a certain range as long as it turns on. That's all it has to do. Then you get the upgrade. And so what did I do? I went on Craigslist. I found a phone that was in the range, cracked as all hell screen, but it turned on. And I went and bought it for $200. And then I traded it in. And I got a free upgrade. And so for me, it was like, that's literally all I had to do. I still actually have my old Android phone too. So I have two phones. But I only have one line, obviously, that I use. And in terms of if I want the next phone for myself, right? If I want the next phone, then it's something where I can trade in my iPhone 13 Pro and I get a free upgrade, right? But at the end of the day, am I going to go out of my way and spend more than like $100, $200 for a new phone? Like, not really. No, that's such a waste of money. And even then, the only reason why I went and did what I did to buy a new phone for $200 is because at the time when I didn't have a ton of money, but I was wanting to like start to increase quality of video recording, the iPhone 13 came out with the camera recording feature with cinematography, and that was something that I wanted to take advantage of for just my own content perspective, right? It's that or getting a DSLR, DLR, an SLR. You got the mirrorless cameras, right? You get what I'm saying. The one that I'm using right now that cost me like $1,400. So couldn't afford that. But it's obviously from a business perspective, I'm buying these things. But you get the point that I'm making, right? It's very much something where everyone wants the newest, nicest things. And for me, what would I rather have? I'd rather have a home that I can afford and zero credit card debt. That just seems like, I don't know. I think that as a from a morality perspective, from a virtuous perspective, this is just me, right? This is just me. I don't believe in being in real debt. I think you can leverage yourself with debt, but that's something you can do from a business perspective. But I think once you start to talk about running up your credit card on things you can't afford to buy goods, then I look at it for myself as just something I don't see as a value when it comes to money mismanagement. Economy's going to dip in the short term. 2025 will be in depression. I don't think we're going to be in depression. I know a lot of people are like super duper like bearish on the market sentiment. Like, I understand that, but I don't think it's going to be like a full blown like catastrophic depression, because at the end of the day, things are going to be down for sure. Things are going to be down for sure. But ultimately, we have to think about what the government does best, which is prolong the situation at hand. Like, it's going to be something that the government is going to do what they do best, which is kick the can down the road. And so for myself, do I think we're going to have some ramifications in the short term for them continuously kicking the can down the road and increasing their overall spending? Yeah, of course. I think we're going to feel that, right? And it's going to come in the housing market at some point. It's going to come in other sectors if they're trying to lower the rate of inflation, right? That's going to be the main consequences. But do I necessarily think that's going to, come into general market GDP, which I know GDP is a bad metric of overall prosperity, but at least if we're tracking it from a spend perspective, GDP, it hasn't really changed much. Like, adjusting for inflation, it has stayed the same. Like, it's still hitting its marks in overall GDP numbers, right? GDP growth. Ultimately, what is not doing well is obviously the housing market with the general overall supply and demand of that, right? So for myself, I say that's really something where I'm more concerned with that, which can quote unquote play into depression, but people are just not going to be buying. I don't know. That's at least how I look at things. Enter, this is not a financial advice statement. Yeah, right. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Is Hidden Fates a great set to get still? Duh. The sealed product hasn't really done much, so you can still pick it up for a decent price, I would say. My ex-wife has my last house. Yikes, dude. I should have put my money in real estate instead of stocks over the last 5 years. Would have at least made 2x. Buying a house is a forced saving account. Why I justified buying one? Not necessarily, though. I understand what you're saying because you're putting equity, but in this forced savings account, you're losing value still. Like like you say to yourself, all right, I have a mortgage on a home. I can't remember what the exact equation was when it came to calculating how much you're going to be paying interest on a monthly basis, right? But if I say to myself that with the current interest rates, I'm going to have a home that's going for 5, but I do the math, I'm going to end up paying around $300,000 in additional interest. The value of your home that you bought it for and the amount of extra money that you're putting into it because of interest. And I understand, like, you can always pay your interest off in advance. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand that to avoid it. And you say it's going towards the principal. But it's like still one of these things for myself where that doesn't necessarily change the fact of the matter that you're losing money by paying a massive amount of interest on your home, right? I would much rather buy a home that's worth $800,000 with a 2% interest rate than buy a home that's worth half that with an 8% interest rate. Because at least I know that in terms of the home equity itself that I'm investing in it, at least I know that proportionate to the value of the home itself, more than likely it's going to be something that's going to naturally adjust more with whatever the market rate is, especially if the interest rate is that low compared to something that I'm paying for a premium with higher interest rates. And the value rate would translate to after accounting for the general value. I hope hopefully that makes sense. Like, I'm gonna look this up right now actually because I want to know. And then multiply the number to get the remaining loan balance. Okay, so I would you would divide 0.6 by 12. So let's say that I have a 0.8% interest rate. Divide that by 12, right? And then I would take that number and I would multiply it by the home that is, we'll say, $400,000. Okay, because that's the equation. Is that right? There's no way that's right. That seems so expensive. Is it bad to think that I look at that number and I say that equation doesn't seem right? So the equation it's saying is I take 0.06, which is 6%, I divide it by 12, and then I take, and it says multiply the number by your remaining loan balance, which is $400,000. And it says that is the answer for how much I'm going to be paying month over month in interest. So it's saying $2,000. Does that seem right for something that's a 6% interest rate? Because if I just say flat out, divided by 30, divided by 12, yeah. Is that right? I don't know. We'll have to talk about this more later, and I need to answer more questions though before I start losing people. Hey Eli, I love the stream. I bought a house 2 years ago, and I lived and flipped and rented it. Love how we talk about everything but Pokemon on these streams. Oh my god, that's so funny. I mean, to be fair, it is a stream that has a Pokemon topic, but people will always ask questions pertaining to outside of Pokemon, and we'll just go with it. I'm looking to be extremely aggressive over the next 6 months. I fully expect a downturn correction and want to pick up as many valuable assets. I think it is. And I said this as a tinfoil hat theory. I still think Evolving Skies could get reprinted. And I know, gasp, everyone's going to be like, no way, Evolving get reprinted. You're smoking crack. What are you saying? Like, no, it's something I think that's possible just based on the fact that the Pokemon company right now is probably looking at Obsidian. They're probably looking at all their Scarlet and Violet boosters, and they're saying no one's buying them. No one's buying them. And so what are they going to do to bring back demand into the market? They're going to have to do something to high demand set. And what is a high demand set right now? Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies is the biggest layup of the century. It's like their ace up their sleeve. Like straight up, they say to themselves right now, okay, what is going on? Scarlet and Violet, no one's buying it. What can we do to get money immediately? Reprint Evolving Skies. It's still in rotation. People forget that. People forget the rotation got extended until early next year because they haven't rotated things out, and Worlds already happened. We're almost in September. They would have announced it by now if things were going to rotate out. It's going to be sometime. It's going to be the first set of next year, more than likely, is going to be when things rotate. And the Pokemon company could easily come out in the next couple of months and announce Evolving Skies is going to reprint. I don't think that's a hot take. I honestly don't. But at the end of the day, I like to plan right now as if that's not going to happen. And I say to myself, LOST, I'm going to pick it up. Because I think that right now they're two really good Sword and Shield era sets that have proven themselves by how quickly they've gone up. And I think that they could perform well. Grant gets it. That's funny, Jason. Alfred, that's funny. Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of what everyone keeps saying, talking about the market, yeah, we'll just have to see, man. I mean, ultimately, I don't think it's gonna be good. I'm prepping for it not to be good. Fernando. If you had a 30-year loan and paid the mortgage, you pay 3x of what your loan is because... See, and that's the funny thing is that doesn't feel right, but the math, at least with the equation they gave me, said it was. Zillow doing 1% down experiments in Arizona. Yikes, buddy. That sounds like a lot of interest. To give you perspective, my mortgage was $3,800 a month. My first payment, only $500 went to principal. I watched for the first time PK and Alex's beef video from last year. Wow, sharks. Yeah, but also you're losing money renting. Not really, though. That's the thing. I hate that fallacy that you're losing money by renting. But at the end of the day, it's one thing if you came to me and you said, Eli, which would you rather be doing? $3,000 renting or $3,000 in a mortgage? Then obviously I'm going to say mortgage, right? That just makes the most sense. If we're in the same market, right? I want to preface that. If it's a different market, it's a completely different conversation, right? But if I say to myself that right now, I am in a position where I can rent for $2,000 a month, $1,500 a month, $1,200 a month, versus homes to buy, the lowest I can get a mortgage for is $2,700. And that's with me putting 20% down. Like, the amount of money that I now have to be able to afford that, and that amount of extra money could go towards me avoiding that interest in the future if I'm going to be outpacing what my general expenses are. Like, I guess the point that I'm making with that is, if you wanted to in Arizona right now, you can go get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in a really nice area for like $1,400. That might sound expensive to a lot of people, but like, okay, if you're a couple, that's each of you splitting it, $700 is what you're paying, right? Versus if you're going and doing the exact same thing for a home, which you need to have 20% down on to just avoid the PMI, you're talking about minimum, right? Home evaluations of at least 450 plus in the area, at least where I live. 20% down, you're going to need at least 80 to 90. And then you also start talking about as well what the now interest in addition you're going to be paying if you don't have that 20% down to be able to afford that. And month over month, it just went from, oh, I have to split, $700 between the two of, or $700 each of us, how much we pay, to now what, 13 to 1500 plus, which becomes drastically more expensive. Asking Eli on Pokemon questions is like asking Mark Hamill about laundry detergent. I don't get that reference. I guess that is a good point. You can itemize it for tax reasons. That I guess does make sense. It makes sense to buy, though, if the interest is less than what rent is, right? No, it doesn't. Because there's more factors that have to play, like, can you afford it? If you're someone that is making $5,000 a month and you're putting $1,400 towards rent, let's say you're a single guy, right? Then you're going to have, obviously, other expenses, food, electricity, utilities, et cetera, et cetera. You're probably closer paying $200 a month or $2,000 a month to survive. If you now say to yourself, you're going to go get a home on your own, unless we're talking about you're getting a condo, but I'm talking about like single family unit, you're talking no less than 450, 400. And that's not even like a decent area. And with that price point, it's like, okay, you now are going to be having to make what? $3,000 now your new mortgage. You add your additional cost of living. It's now going to add, 3730. You're the amount of money that you're saving that could potentially go. I don't know. I just get really nervous, especially too when it comes to job security in an economic downturn. I understand you can refinance. I understand that refinancing is always an option. I just get nervous because I just think there's more flexibility in it than trying to just go extremely aggressive by getting a home, even though a lot of times you're going to be putting so much more money. And your general overhead month to month is going to cost way more. Everyone says buying a home is better until you get a 5K AC bill, right? And then you start talking about property taxes too. Oh my gosh. Bro, our AC bill last month, $500. It was insane. Where I live, you'd be lucky to break even as a landlord. Homes are way too expensive versus rentals. Hermit. Oh, they know. Oh, they know, all right. I've already talked to them about it. I know that too because my landlord's brother used to collect Pokemon when he was a kid, and I sold their collection for them. Great area, 4-bed, loads of space. 250,000 is what I just got. Jeez, Louise, 250,000. That's so cheap. 250,000. Jeez, bro. No one lives in Iowa. That's insane. Well, to be fair, at least here in Arizona, it was record-breaking heat. Like, I'm talking about straight up 115 literally for like 20 days straight. 30 days. Oh, sorry. 30 days straight. Eli, is it tone deaf to be positive in the hobby? Seems counterintuitive for tubers to be negative, but at least it's keeping it real. I mean, it depends on what you mean by being tone deaf, right? Like, when you say being tone deaf, does that mean like you're pumping it, saying like everything is like happy-go-lucky, like the market is in the best place ever? Like, yeah, but if you're saying that I think that people are overreacting as if this is the end of Pokemon, I don't think that's tone deaf. I think it's tone deaf when you start being hyperbolic, right? I understand there's a difference between this is the best set of all time hyperbolic and versus saying that everyone should look at the era as a whole and say it's the best era ever. And it's only tone deaf when you start to more or less be hyperbolic for the purpose of pumping the market when it's just absolute BS. Yikes, Joel. That's a big yikes, buddy. And it's the funniest thing, too, as well, because I'm a huge volleyball guy. And for me, I'm like, I literally want to have a place in California just so I can go play volleyball. But it's like, man, do that? Or do I live in Arizona and just go, like, travel to California? It's a 5.5-hour drive. But that's insane. $750 in the summer. Yikes. I think electricity is also much cheaper in Arizona, at least from compared to Oregon. Oregon electricity was stupid expensive. But yeah, I look at the market right now for Pokemon, and this is what I see, right? If I go look and I say, how do I really feel about how it is as a whole? Obsidian Flames, Paldea Evolved, Scarlet and Violet. All right around wholesale prices, right? Absolutely atrocious. I look at Evolving, which is at $450. Lost Origin, lowest listed is $135. I mean, it looks like it's found its floor. At least on TCG Player. Whereas Silver Tempest, also kind of around the same position. It's found its floor. And this was after it having a print, right? So I look at Celebrations, it's going sideways. I look at Sword and Shield, Ultra Premium Charizard, it's going sideways. I look at Brilliant Stars, it went from 135. Here, where is it? round 35. It's annoying. It's not going to show it. And it's currently at, what's it at right now? 155, right? Astral's sitting at like 130 as well, I think. If I'm correct. Man. Astral's at 140, guys. Look at how crazy Astral's going. But like, my point is we say to ourselves, all right, where is the market right now? And we're basing everything off of what's going on in Scarlet and Violet. But then if we follow what's going on with XY Era, Sun and Moon Era, and Sword and Shield product, it's all performing extremely well. It's just Scarlet and Violet that's taking the biggest dump. So I think that to say that the hobby right now is in a bad place, I don't think is the hottest take. But I think to say that the hobby overall is like, this is the end of Pokemon, I think is stupid. The only thing that's bad about where the hobby is currently is the fact of the matter that we get excited over sets like 151, which it's not a bad set by any means, but it's nothing innovative. Like, I got more excited about Crown Zenith than any other set since Evolving Skies. Because Crown Zenith was great. And I mean, Crown Zenith was not that long ago. It's kind of like, I don't know if this is a good comparison or if people will like this comparison. It's like Marvel, right? You look at Marvel and everyone's like, Marvel's in a bad spot right now. But then you say to yourself, literally just like a year and a half ago, they came out with Spider-Man No Way Home, which was one of the best movies they've ever made. And it's so funny because literally that, like, it just, we're in such a like fast pattern, like everything is so fast paced, but that doesn't mean all of a sudden it can't just go the other way and things can just kind of change, right? I mean, for the longest time, like the Marvel franchise was being absolutely destroyed by DC. I mean, you literally had Christopher Nolan just utterly disrespecting anything Marvel put out because, I mean, come on, do you guys remember watching the Fantastic Four? Like that was their best stuff. It wasn't really until they started the Avengers project where it started to change things. And then obviously as well, you start talking about how No Way Home wasn't good. Dang, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy, man. But anyway, I digress. The point that I guess I'm trying to more or less make is that I think that things can change at any point. I think that it's entirely possible for the Pokemon company to come out with something new in Scarlet and Violet, and it's going to be good, and we're going to feel a different sentiment. I just like to be overly cautious because for me personally, like to make sure that I'm not over leveraging myself because I like to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, and a lot of people are greedy right now still. And so I'm just more fearful. Depends on how you define what is considered great. I think that the art is great and the prices are low. I'm loving the SV era right now with all the cards I can collect for cheap. I noticed about 1 in 4 of these build and battle pre-release cards have a small ding or dent on the top end. Do you still sell those as near mint because they are pack fresh? 1 in 4 is a lot, Alex. I mean, here's the deal, Alex. I have opened well over several thousand build and battles at this point. Probably like 3,000 to 5,000. To my recollection, I have returned about a handful of them for damage. So 1 in 4 seems weird to me. I don't get that. Life is a cycle indeed. What's up, Plebosaurus? Good to see you, brother. Totally fine when people get negative and nervous because it just leads to good buying opportunities. What's up, David? Hey, Eli, just joined the Patreon. Just had a couple of questions. What's up? Thanks for joining. How do I find prices for product, and how would I go about placing an order? So obviously, this is a live that's based more around questions pertaining to just general Q&A questions. But if you want, oh my God. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen. That's insane. My fiance is an absolute champion. I'm going to show you guys a picture here in a second. So, if you literally watch the tutorials, we have multiple tutorials that'll answer that question for you, or you can feel free to at me, and then I can and then I can explain it to you. We can either hop on a call, or I can message back and forth on how to do it. And then also Alfred, one of our mods, will help you with that. But okay, so we ordered a lot of Lost Origin Silver Tempest boosters in the program. A lot. Because picking them up at 102 is nice. And we just got, without any notification, our second shipment of Lost Origin product and Silver Tempest product. This is what my garage looks like right now. Mind you, this is about a 400 square foot garage. And that's not even the living room, bro. We have 4 more pallets in our living room. We don't have room for things. Like, we desperately need a warehouse. Like, this is crazy. But she was able, there was a semi outside, right? And I was like, I'm going to live stream. I can't just quit, right? Like, I have to still go through the live stream. Can you take care of it? And she did. And look at that. Like, absolute monster. I have no clue what she did with some of the other product, because there were still multiple other pallets off to the side. So I have no clue what she did with all that product. But gosh dang, man. Yeah. That's a fun time. Dude, you're telling me I'm definitely going to need a bigger place soon, that's for sure. But yeah, David, if you want to just message me, I will respond to your message after stream, and I can help you. But I highly recommend, first things first, watching the tutorial video once you join the program, and it'll step-by-step tell you everything you need to do. So it's super simple. What do you think will change in sets hold on. What do you think will change the set's perception? Pokemon in the set, playability, hit rates. I think, honest to God, just like people in general, they're extremely predictable. And I think what people want is extremely predictable. You're always going to have people that are going to complain the set rates hits are too high, or the set rate hits are too low, right? That's something that's always going to happen. So in terms of the general pull rates, I don't think it matters. People are going to complain one way or another. It's not really going to affect things. What ultimately matters is what are the characters within the set, and what are the art designs of the characters within the set. As we've seen with cards such as Aerodactyl, with cards such as Machamp, it doesn't have to be a fan favorite to be an amazing art design of a card that performs well, right? Now, does it help that it is a nostalgic Pokemon for it to do well? Yes, Machamp is a nostalgic Pokemon. It is a Gen 1 Pokemon. Same with Aerodactyl, right? So that is a factor. What we also know for certain is you can't just throw one chase card and say that's it. I know you might say, well, Eli, Iono in Paldea, but it's like, yes, but no, because you can get the Magikarp, you can get the T-Tar, you can get a lot of other alternate art designs like the Chen Pao, like that are really good, that people still will be happy hitting. It's not like, oh, if I don't hit this $100 card, next best thing up is like $5. You know what I mean? Kind of like if you look at Darkness Ablaze, kind of like if you look at Champion's Path, kind of like if you look at Burning Shadows. I'm going to keep going with all the Charizard sets. Kind of like what we're more than likely going to see happen with to our current, you know, amazing set everyone loves, Obsidian Flames. So I think what you need to do is you just need to have a set with good art designs and make it where you're just not throwing in one Pokemon card and everything else sucks. And that's kind of it. Because that's literally what Obsidian is in a nutshell. Has anyone in the Patreon asked about accounting asking for a friend and that friend is you? No one has asked about it to my knowledge so far. Anyone down for a big Pokemon heist, right? Can you build the booster box wall like Rudy? Oh yeah, I can totally do that. I have so many boosters, bro. Are you kidding me? I have over 1,000 cases of booster boxes right now in my house. Or do I have 1,000 cases? Actually, I don't think I have 1,000 cases. Let me do the math. How many cases? I know at least I at least have over a couple hundred cases for sure. So I can totally do the Rudy wall. I think it would be funny if I did the Rudy wall, but like with battle academies. I think that'd be really funny. Well, thankfully they had a forklift or not a forklift, but like one of the things they used to push in the pallet. So Holly didn't have to do it. It was the truck driver. Do a live in front of the booster boxes of the booster box wall before you break them down. I know it's funny. I could easily. I mean, here's the deal, man. I am. This is nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Like, the picture that I just showed you. Be right back. I'm gonna take another picture and I'm gonna share it on Discord. Okay. So I'm going to share another picture. The lighting's a little bad, so you'll have to bear with me. Look at how close it is to the ceiling fan. This is my house right now. I don't know, guys. Like, when people ask Eli, what does like 250,000 in Pokemon look like? This is what it looks like. I literally am going to start staging some things. You know, it's funny. I'm not going to lie to you folks. Obviously, I always post videos on Wednesday. I might postpone my video on Wednesday for a Friday video so that I can do something funny with all these boxes and like start staging it. Oh, she's 1,000% the MVP. No question about it. Got any tips for collecting for your lesser brothers in Canada? Buy buy from the States. It's cheaper. I mean, I don't actually know how the rates are for you guys in Canada. What are you paying for booster boxes? I mean, just because you live in Canada doesn't change my outlook on Pokemon. The only thing it changes is the market prices, what you're paying for things. Just buy it the cheapest place you can, obviously. Surprised I'm not. I know, right? Seriously. Dude, bro, literally package total. You're talking about a video idea that I was going to post for Friday. That's literally what we're talking here. I know. I know. I'm so lucky with Holly. But not my wife yet. We get married in officially, oh God, what's today? The 29th? We get officially married in 18 days, 19 days now? 19 days? Man, we're so close. We're so close. It's going to be gnarly. But yeah, this is it, folks. This is the situation. This is literally what 250,000 in Pokemon looks like. I guess the make or break for Canadians will be shipping from the US. How much does it cost to ship a booster box case on average? That's a good question. That's a good question. She does it with the agreement. Definitely not. Definitely not. I am definitely prepared for the holidays. Oh my gosh, folks. It's going to be a fun day because this is now my day. Is shipping this out. So hooray! It's going to be great. Taking care of all this. This is going to be absolutely insane to ship out. And it's funny too, like you're looking from like the top view perspective, but I guarantee you the minute you actually go in and you look at everything, it's going to be so insane. It's going to be so insane how much. This is a big garage. This makes the garage look so tiny. Like this is a full-on 2-car garage. So, geez Louise, folks. That's crazy. Oh, all right. All right, folks. What else is exciting and fun that we can have a conversation about? Oh no, literally, bro. I kid you not. Guys, here's my plan. My plan is I'm going to probably, I don't know if I'll record on or I'll do a live on Thursday. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to use a lot of the booster boxes and a lot of the battle academies, and I'm going to use them as stages for backdrops. And then also I'm going to see if I can make a funny content video out of it and post it on Friday. I'm going to try and focus on doing all this within the next couple of days. I think it'd be really funny to do something like that while I have all this product that I'm sitting on. Sitting on, right? Yeah, right. I mean, I'm going to be sitting on the battle academies, but how long do I expect it all to take to ship it out? Ooh, well, let's see. What's today? 2 o'clock. I can't get everything out by today, that's for sure. I'll probably attempt to get everything out by tomorrow, or at least half of it out by tomorrow. Bro, I'm not going to build a... Are you kidding me? Build a throne of booster cases? Dude, I'm going to build a castle. Are you kidding me? I'm going to build a castle. I'm going to make Alex look like an absolute rookie. That's the plan here, man. If you're watching this, Alex, I'm coming for you. Do you buy Scarlet Violet Era PC ETBs? Or is it just not worth it for you because you can't do high enough volume? It has nothing to do with I don't buy it because I don't believe in it, because I do believe in it. It has to do with I don't buy it because I have other opportunities I can take advantage of. Like Lost Origin and Silver Tempest booster boxes at 102 apiece. We have, how many spots do we have left in the Patreon now? Because we just had one person join on stream. We have literally one spot left. So if you want to join the Patreon to take advantage and literally follow what everyone else is doing, which is getting, I mean, literally, these are all cases, guys, of booster boxes. So if you want to be able to do that, join the Patreon program. But yeah, that's my thing. There's just better opportunities in my personal opinion right now. Because at the end of the day, right, I can make money off of Silver Tempest Lost Origin. I can make money with the current market prices. I can't make money off of the current market prices for Pokemon Center ETBs. I believe in them as a long-term investment, but when I have product that I can go in, buy, and after like shipping and fees is like 105 a booster, and then on top of that, 105, probably closer to 104, honestly. But then after that, it's like I can go sell it locally for probably like 115, 120. It's money. I like Paldea too. Well, you want to talk about getting rid of Paldea? So once again, this is for anyone to see. You guys remember the Silver Tempest deal that there's God Silver Tempest packs? Well, one of my distributors, if you buy for wholesale a case of Obsidian, a case of Paldea, they'll literally give you the fall collector chest for free. So talk about value. Oh, that is funny. Why? That is funny. Thank you for pointing that out, Alfred. Okay, well, I guess with the Paldea one, you do this. With the Paldea one, you do the Electrode V special. Thank you, Alfred. Man, I love how I just looked at the image. I didn't even read the... I didn't even read it. That's funny. Yes, I am, RD. We actually... Oh, no. We have another pallet coming later today. Oh, I forgot about that. I bought a bunch of material from Uline so that I could ship a ton of product out to you guys. And I have some more materials coming today, so we need that to arrive. That's going to be fun. Yes, we are 100% Maple Leaf friendly, Sarima. We are. I actually want to test something out here. And I want to try this out, Sarima. If I don't know if you're a part of the Discord, but I would join the Discord right now. If you want to message me what your shipping information is, I can actually give you a quote to see how much it would cost to ship to Canada. Because we just got corporate rates from UPS because of our shipping volume. So I'm able to give you an exact quote on how much it would cost for me to ship to you so it doesn't eat into margins much. But like, we just started getting a massive discount because of how much we ship. So it's, who would have guessed it, right? But yeah, the Patreon program is just a program for you to get access to wholesale prices on Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, and whatever you want to buy that we have available for distributors. You can buy as much as you want as long as it's available. So Silver Tempest and Lost Origin boosters are available right now, and you can buy as much as you want. Which one going? Yeah, I mean, I just buy from Uline just because it is what it is. She say no more in Toronto, by the way. Yeah, literally, dude. It's like it's crazy. It's like I look at the volume and I just say to myself, I don't know, it just kind of feels surreal. Hey, let's go, Blackwell. Thanks for joining. Say no more. I'm in Toronto, by the way. Hey, let's go, baby. But yeah, so Artie, to answer your question a little bit more in depth, so a couple of things. I just got my Shippo integrated, so I will have a much easier time. So we'll have automated tracking set up again for double boxing, and then also as well, I just negotiated UPS rates for insurance, which has a 99.95% rate when it comes to receival of your insurance claim. So if we literally make a claim because something happened to a customer's damaged package, the odds of them insuring it is extremely high, and the payout is 7 to 10 business days. So that goes into effect in a month when they get the integration process set up for us. But I'm excited. Like, the quality of everything is going to like drastically ramp up. Did someone say fire? What does this do? Oh, I wish I could get rid of this tab. I can imagine. Dude, well, that's okay. It's funny. It's funny you say that. That thin line. It's funny you say that because literally my biggest. Okay, so Holly, she lets me get away with a lot of stuff, but her biggest pet peeve though is not being able to park her car in the garage because it's so hot outside. And then when you like, it's crazy hot. And so her car, you can't even touch the wheel because of how hot it gets. So she likes to be able to park in the garage so that she isn't 1,000,000,000,000 degrees. What are your thought processes right now for more inventory or more inventory to flip? For myself, I mean, like I said before earlier, guys, here's what I'm doing. And I'm very honest, I'm very transparent, and I'm showing you pictures of what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing, and this is what a lot of people in the program are doing. We're buying Lost Origin Silver Tempest for dirt cheap, and if we're not doing that, then we're buying, or at least I am, buying Magic the Gathering Commander decks, and I'm breaking it down and selling it to flip singles. Simple as that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we're chilling, guys. What part of AZ I'm in? I am in Gilbert, Arizona, which is a suburb of Phoenix. Did someone say fire? Can I get those pallets making a few tables? Dude, literally the amount of things that we could create with these boxes would be so funny. Bro, I don't understand why she doesn't go and buy a sunshade. It's so cheap. Typically Pokemon cards. That's a funny name. I like that. Typically I mean, if I'm being honest with most of my Pokemon product sales, I mean, I haven't done Pokemon sales in a while. So I'm actively not really selling a lot of stuff other than for people that are in the wholesale program. That's kind of it. I will eventually, but right now my kind of main goal is I want to get another storefront here in Arizona that I can kind of sell things locally. That's kind of what my more or less plan is. Why build my Sunshade? We can. That's not a bad play, dude. I mean, honestly, why can't you use cardboard as a sunshade? That's so funny. Get out of here, Hermit. Hermit out here. That's true. I get a ton of sales on OnlyFans, and I get a ton of sales on local meetups. You caught me. That's so funny, dude. But yeah, with all these boxes, bro, I'm going to make so much recreations of things. I'm just going to literally think of like any meme possible that I can recreate, but with just Pokemon boxes. Dang, average player coming in with the American smack talk. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The pretentious European is in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, shots fired. Which I hope you got that reference because that was a really deep historical reference that I thought was clever. Thank you very much. The shot heard around the world. If you don't get, never mind. It probably went over a lot of people's head. The history nerd joke. Boo boo. It's basically Doritos, to be honest. You caught me red-handed. All I eat is Doritos. And I dip it in Cheese Whiz. That's all I do. That's crazy. It can, yeah. Nasty. I know, right? Just dipping Doritos in cheese. That does sound so gross. I mean, just think what I could do with all this cardboard. I know, right? Collectible accounting. Dude, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've actually ever had Cheese Whiz before. I think I may have had it, but I can't remember, to be honest with you. I know, right? He thinks I'm being serious. I'm over here with, I don't even know the last time I had Doritos. It's been so long. Man, Doritos low-key sound good. You know what actually low-key sounds good? I think the reason why Doritos for me is kind of a good thing is it reminds me of my childhood where you would get like, I don't know if you guys did this as a kid, but like you guys would make ham and cheese sandwiches and it would come with a side of Doritos and Capri Sun and you would like throw your Doritos on your sandwich, or you would have your Doritos, you like take a bite of it and then have a sip of Capri Sun. Like that's what I think of when I think of Doritos. I think of like just pure nostalgia. Cheese was awful. You haven't missed much. Yeah, I'm not a fan of fake cheese. The only time I'll have fake cheese is if you like throw on American cheese on top of a burger and just melt it. That's it. Other than that, yeah, I'm staying away. I love how this conversation has just completely devolved. We just get this is such an ADHD type of thing. People just come in and look at the content title and they're like, God, what a disappointment, Eli. What is the secret? What is it that Pokemon is not telling me? We haven't even talked once about yesterday's video. Quick question. If I got 24 of the STLO booster bundles with fees and shipping to Michigan, for all of them, what would the average per booster box be out the door? 110 or so. So don't pop believin'. I can actually answer that question because now that we have our shipping information integrated, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty hype. I can, honest to God, answer that question. Let me do the math once we start talking about it out the door after shipping and fees. Is there someone from Michigan that I can compare to? Do we have someone in the program from Michigan that I can use? Aha, we do have someone in the program with Michigan. We do. All right, cool. So I'm going to use them as an example. There's someone else in the program who's from Michigan, and we're going to use them as an example. So, So doing the math, if my math serves me correct, you're talking about adding on about, it obviously is going to depend on how much you order. Don't dox them, Eli. I'm not doxing them. Michael, I'm literally using your address as the example. So I'm doing the math. And it looks like with our new discounted shipping rates, you're going to be paying after shipping and fees and everything closer to $106 a box. Potentially $106.50. So the new rates are going to save you about, because Michael says 107.31, you're saving roughly around $1 to $1.50 with the new rates per box. So yeah, much lower than 110. Oh, that's so funny. Think Enlisted Leaf will like this conversation more. Oh, 100%. Yeah, literally joined when we started talking about sales tax. That was a fun one. From your other videos, I got to look at your Pokemon product and ask yourself, would you buy this in 5 years for 2x? Me? No. Other people? Yeah. See, I never base off of what I would buy. I have to base it off of what the general market would buy. That's why I buy everything that I buy. So I just do whatever the market does. Yeah, the new rate is... Michael, the new rate is so much cheaper to ship a case. Well, especially too because we're combining boxes now. So it's nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the situation. We're going to wrap things up in the next couple of minutes. So if you have any more last second questions, obviously, make sure to ask them. And obviously, as mentioned before, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you want to enter into our stroking out. If you want to enter into our weekly giveaways. And outside of that, we've got one spot left for the Patreon. So if you want to take advantage and get access to wholesale prices on products. Definitely recommend you join in before it sells out. And obviously, if you have any questions or hesitancy, please feel free to message me on Discord or so. What do we win from the weekly giveaways? You guys win the same thing you guys have been winning for the past 4 months. It is not ST. It is the same stuff as always. It's the Pokemon Go stuff. It says down in the description of every video. I know, right? That's why my editor blurred it out. It was really confusing. I'm going to message him about it next time and make sure he doesn't put ST and he puts in Pokemon Go. Dude, I love Nathan for you, Squid. Are you kidding me? No one reads the description. I know. That's fair. That is fair. I love Nathan for you. I thought he was so funny on Comedy Central. Pokemon Go? What era are we in? Bro, you guys have to understand, Pokemon Go is vintage at this point, folks. Like, it's a great deal. No, I'm just kidding. It is funny to think that Pokemon Go is... I mean, how old is Pokemon Go now? A year and a couple months old. Isn't that weird to think? Pokemon Go, the set has been out for that long now. Time just flies, guys. Pogo is a slow play, but a play nonetheless. Yeah, say that to Alex. It was so funny. He messaged me because he was one of our weekly giveaway winners a week or so ago. And literally he was like, oh, that's so exciting. I won, blah, 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 blah. And I do Pokemon Go packs, right? And you guys know he went super heavy on Pokemon Go. And like, it was a whole ordeal. And straight up, he got the packs and he didn't know that that's what the giveaway was. He was going for. And so he's like, are you trolling me? Did you like purposely send me Pokemon Go packs? Like, that's hilarious. And I was like, oh, that's just a coincidence. I didn't even think about that. That's kind of funny. I have a decent amount of Pokemon Go, but nothing crazy. Only like a couple booster boxes worth of packs. I just did the math, and for the product that I was buying of Pogo, it just made more sense for me to break it down. Pogo will pop off in 7 years. We definitely all hope so. But, alrighty, folks. I think I'm going to end it here because I've got a lot of things I need to ship now. But we've almost been going for 2 hours anyway, so we're pretty close to at time. But want to thank you all so much once again for everything. But as far as it goes, that is all for ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and get a video out Wednesday, but I might hold off and post a video on Friday because of everything that I have a fun idea for a video, but I'll try and see if I can get everything out. But regardless, until then, I will see you guys